Today, we are diving into a 2,000-year-old text that offers one of the most radical perspectives on reality you will ever come across. Seriously, it's a teaching that's designed to completely challenge the very foundation of how you see yourself and the world around you.
What you're looking at is connected to the Taishō Prajñāpāramitā Sūtra. Now, this is one of the earliest scriptures ever to lay out a concept known as the perfection of wisdom. And trust me, this isn't just about being smart. This is a totally different way of seeing.
And this is the question at the very heart of the text. It's asking us to think about a type of wisdom that doesn't just make you clever, but one that actually gives birth to enlightenment itself. You can almost think of it as the source code for awakening.
So what is this perfection of wisdom? Well, in Sanskrit, it's known as Prajñāpāramitā, which literally means just that. And as we're about to see, getting to this perfection, well, it requires a pretty profound shift in how we perceive literally everything.
Our journey into this text begins right where the sutra does. The Buddha is with this big assembly of enlightened beings. They're called bodhisattvas, and he turns to one of his wisest disciples, a guy named Subhuti, and asks him to explain this ultimate wisdom to everyone. Sounds simple enough, right? Well, not quite.
Subhuti's response is just stunning. He doesn't launch into some big lecture. He hits them with a paradox. What he's basically saying is, you want me to teach a bodhisattva, but the very wisdom you're asking me to teach reveals that there is no solid separate thing called a bodhisattva in the first place.
And right there, that paradox is the key to the entire teaching. You see, this wisdom isn't about learning about things. It's about seeing through the whole idea of things as these solid, separate, permanent objects.
This brings us to this core concept of emptiness. Now hold on, because this can be a really tricky word. It does not mean that nothing exists, not at all. It means that nothing exists on its own, with some kind of fixed, independent core. Everything is interconnected, everything is interdependent, and it's all in a constant state of flux.
The sutra gives us this brilliant metaphor for this. It says reality is like a magical illusion, right? It appears totally vivid, solid, and real to our senses. But if you actually investigate it, you find it has no concrete, lasting substance. It's there for sure, but just not in the way we think it is. So this is where it really flips our whole worldview on its head. Normally, we see a world full of separate nouns. A cup, a tree, a person. But Prajñāpāramitā sees a world of interconnected verbs, a constant dynamic flow of processes and relationships.
So, who is the ideal person to actually live this kind of understanding? Well, the text focuses on the bodhisattva, this enlightened hero who is completely dedicated to the well-being of all. But their path is defined by this really beautiful contradiction.
Okay, get this. The bodhisattva starts with a vow of just boundless compassion. I'm going to save every last being from suffering. But, and this is key, at the exact same time, they have the perfect wisdom to know that because of emptiness, there are no separate fixed beings to be saved in the first place. It's wild. And this just illustrates the point brilliantly. The bodhisattva's compassionate work is like a master magician performing for an audience made of illusions. The performance is real, the compassion is absolutely real, but the magician never ever mistakes the illusion for solid reality.
Now, I know this might all be sounding very philosophical, maybe a little abstract, but the sutra is incredibly clear that this wisdom isn't just some interesting idea. It is, quite literally, the most valuable thing in the entire cosmos.
And to really drive this point home, the Buddha uses this just staggering comparison. He asks us to imagine filling up not just our world, but countless galaxies, as many galaxies as there are grains of sand in the Ganges River, and filling them completely with precious jewels. Just try to picture that amount of wealth. It's unimaginable.
And then he delivers the punchline. All of that cosmic treasure, all the good karma or merit you'd get from offering it, is worth less than the merit you'd get from just writing down, sharing, or truly understanding even a single sentence of this teaching.
And why is that? Well, the logic is actually simple but incredibly profound. Material wealth, no matter how vast it is finite. It exists within that world of illusion. But this wisdom is the source code of reality itself. It's the mother that gives birth to all awakened minds. It literally creates the creators.
Okay, so let's pull all of this together and bring it back down to earth. What could a 2,000-year-old text about cosmic illusions and enlightened heroes possibly mean for us, right here, right now?
The most important thing to remember is that this isn't just abstract philosophy. These are practical, powerful insights into the nature of our own minds and our own suffering. The paradoxes aren't there to confuse us. They're designed to break down our rigid ways of thinking.
This wisdom points us directly toward a kind of radical non-attachment, right? By showing us there are no solid things to cling to in the first place, it makes possible a purer form of compassion, one that's free from ego, because it dissolves that hard line between me and you. And by helping us question the very nature of ourself, it offers a real path to freedom from the suffering that comes from trying to protect that fragile identity.
And so, this ancient text, it doesn't just give us answers. It leaves us with a final, truly mind-bending question to think about. If our reality is this grand illusion, this projection of mind, then who, or what, is the magician creating the show? That's a thought to carry with you.